Have you ever overheard a conversation and felt like you were listening to a completely different language? One filled with inside jokes and weird jargon that makes absolutely no sense? Well, today we're diving headfirst into one of those worlds. We've got a peek inside the private chat of a super dedicated mobile baseball gaming community, and we're going to decode what makes them tick.
I mean, just look at this. Only true mythical beasts train special abilities on A-rank cards. What does that even mean? It sounds like something out of a fantasy movie. But this is a real message from a real person in this group. It's their secret code, and we're about to crack it wide open.
So that's the big question, right? What in the world is an A-rank card? And who are these mythical beasts? More importantly, why should we care what a bunch of gamers are talking about? Well, stick with me, because by the end of this, you won't just understand their lingo, you'll get a really cool look into the amazing culture they've built.
Ready to jump in? Here's our game plan. First, we'll step into their secret digital clubhouse. Then, we'll get our decoder rings on and crack the gamer code. After that, we'll feel the rush of the gamble, dig into some serious strategy, and finally see why all of this really just boils down to community.
Okay, so first things first, we're stepping inside their clubhouse. And like any close group of friends, they've built their own little worlds, and that world comes with its own language. It's not just about being quick or efficient. It's a signal. It's how you know you belong. To you and me, their chat probably looks like total gibberish. It's this wild mix of game terms, weird nicknames for players, and tons of inside jokes. But for them, every single one of these messages is a nod to their shared history. This isn't just small talk. It's literally the glue that holds their entire community together. All right, time to really start decoding this thing. To have any chance of understanding what they're actually talking about, we've got to build a little dictionary of their most used terms. This is the foundation for, well, everything. The entire game, this whole universe, really revolves around one single thing: collecting digital player cards. You can think of them like superpowered baseball cards that you use to build your dream team and go compete. And as you can probably guess, not all cards are created equal. And here's the pecking order. Right at the very top, you've got your S cards. These are the legends, the superstars. A step down, you have A cards, which are still really, really good. And then you get the more common D cards. This hierarchy is absolutely crucial because almost every strategic decision they make is about how to use, or sometimes how to sacrifice, these different levels. But see, it's not just about getting the cards. The real game is what you do with them. They're constantly talking about actions like G, which is like the final ultimate upgrade for a card. They're planning around teneng, or special abilities. And they're even using their weaker cards as fuel for taisun, a special training to make their best cards even better. It's a whole ecosystem. So now that we've got the vocabulary down, let's get to the real heart of it all, the emotional core of the game, the thrill of the gamble. A huge part of this is what's called a gacha system. Basically, it's like a slot machine. You spend your coins, pull the lever, and hope you hit the jackpot. And wow, does that create some serious emotional highs and lows? You can see it right here. On one side, you've got pure joy. Someone gets so lucky his friend literally calls him Alano the Euro God. Then, on the other side, you have the shared misery. Two people who didn't even get an A card. You can almost feel the collective sigh. It's this shared ride on the roller coaster that makes them so close. But it's not all just wishing and hoping. Players also talk about saving up 750 yuan. That's 750 diamonds, the game's currency. And that's not a random number. That's the magic number. It's the exact price for a guaranteed top-tier S-rank player. It's the ultimate strategic choice. Do you gamble, or do you save for the sure thing? And that idea of strategy is the perfect way to get into our next section. Because this is where it gets really fascinating. This is so much more than luck. These players are having incredibly deep, strategic conversations that honestly would make a real-life baseball manager nod in approval. Take a comment like this: shortstop often requires defense. Now, that sounds pretty simple, right? But it's a window into huge debates they have about building a virtual team, balancing a powerful offense against the solid defense and analyzing the whole meta of the game. So, you see, this is a million miles from a simple game of chance. These players are constantly weighing these complex decisions. They're debating team needs, saying things like, I need a catcher this season. They're managing their resources, agonizing over which cards deserve that ultimate upgrade, and even organizing their own little trading events. It's like a multi-layered game of chess.
And that brings us to our final and honestly our most important point. Because underneath all the jargon, the gambling, and the strategy, the real game here is about people. It's about human connection. This is a real, thriving community. You can totally feel it in their friendly banter. When one player mentions a pretty high standard, another one immediately chimes in, joking, LOL, when did that become the standard? It's that kind of lighthearted, gentle ribbing that shows you this is a group of people who are genuinely comfortable with each other. And a lot of their support isn't even in words. The chat is just flooded with these little emoji reactions. A fire emoji to celebrate a huge win, a heart to show some love, a handshake to agree on a smart play. These little things create this constant, flowing stream of encouragement. They celebrate the highs together, and they soften the blows of the losses together. And this last quote, I think, just says it all. A player is joking about his bad performance by blaming his eyesight, saying, look, I can't even see the spaces clearly. How could I possibly hit well? It's hilarious, it's relatable, and it just perfectly captures that sense of camaraderie. It's not about being the best, it's about sharing the journey. So after all that, what did we really find inside this clubhouse? Yeah, we found a secret language, but that language was really just the key. It unlocked a real deep and meaningful community. It shows how people are building connections online that are just as strong as any you'd find in the physical world. Every little piece of jargon, from mythical beasts to lucky poles, is another brick in the foundation of their shared home. And that kind of leaves you with one last question, doesn't it? What secret languages do your communities share?